And that is us back, guys. We now have Rayman, as you can see, and I will give it over to the runner. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Raymandicoot, and I'm going to be running Rayman for the PS1 version today. I'm ready to go, like, as soon as, to be honest. So I count us down now?
Yeah, you can go do the countdown.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so this is, as I said, for the PS1 version. There's so many versions of this game. I've only played the PS1 version personally. So the aim of this game is to get all 102 cages scattered across 17 different levels of the game. There's 6 cages in each level. And to start with, we actually can't get all the cages because we're actually pretty useless at the moment. We can't even punch things until the next screen. So it's actually kind of a hilarious start to the run. Rayman is literally just able to jump. That's all he's able to do. Yeah. We're gonna do a little strat here called Plum Walk. Okay, I did get it. You can fail that and die, so at least I got it. Tiny little strat. So now we can get our first power up finally, where we can punch things. No longer useless. So basically, the one actually starts now, and you'll see soon. There's 3 cages in the next screen, but there's as I said, there's 6 in each level. We actually have to come back to this level later on in the one. I'm gonna try and do a little tiny plum movement. I can't really do these like really amazing top level ones. Sorry, I can't pronounce my O's very well. I should point that out. Well, we try and do what we can. So yeah, that second cage is quite a tricky one. You have to like jump at the correct places. Otherwise you're gonna miss. Otherwise you're either gonna hit the enemy or you're gonna miss the cage. So that was the first level, Pink Plant Woods. One of many. Okay, Angus. So there's a boss coming up after this screen, and there's gonna be another strat involved there. I will try and get that. There's actually a little strat in this screen too. I'm gonna actually do my first damage abuse. I'm gonna jump on the hunter's gun and boost past him like that, so I don't have to wait to take him out because that actually takes longer. So far so good. I don't expect too much to go wrong here. Obviously though, as I said, there's a strat coming up here called double hits, and this one is quite precise, so we'll see how I do. Okay, I got it. Nice. That saves a second. Yeah, this is a very short and simple boss fight. Only 5 health. There's a later version of this boss that has a lot more health. And that boss is called Buzzit. the bosses on this game have interesting names. They're actually pretty simple names, to be honest. So now we're on our first auto scroller. This one's actually not completely just I'm doing nothing. Like, I'm gonna be positioning myself on certain parts of the screen to speed it up and slow it down as necessary. I'll try and do a little thing here called Buzzit Press as well. Nice, I got that. What that does is it pushes me further left to the screen so I can speed the camera up again in the earliest possible moment. And also, you may notice that I'm positioning myself in some parts of the screen so I can pick up some hidden knives. I forgot to point that out, there's a lot of hidden stuff in this game. A lot of hidden stuff. there's a lot of gen doors, I think they're called, to activate. I don't remember the full name of the whatever it's called. Sorry. And we're gonna get Anna's power up now, where we can hang on things. So, as we go, there's a total of 5 power-ups to get in this game as well. 5 power-ups. And the next level, sorry, is the Swamps of Forgetfulness, and this is a big auto-scroller, so if there's anything that wants to be read, go ahead. Because now is the time.
Yeah, we don't have any donations at the moment.
I wouldn't expect it.
Again, I will just... it's a good time to plug the fact that we do have a donation incentive for Silent Hill 4. So if you do want to choose the outfit, you know, either the normal one or, you know, the good old nurse outfit, then we do have that up, and that will be ending in around 2 hours, 10 minutes. So if you have any donations for that, please feel free to donate.
Thank you. So, yes. There's 2 cages on this screen. They're both very close together. There's no way you could miss them. There's no generated cages on this screen. You'll start seeing a lot more of like unspawned cages as the one progresses, and the devs definitely put them in places you wouldn't expect. So there's a lot to learn in this game if you never played it. It's also a very hard game to learn. If you've played this game before, it is a tough game. And this next screen is no exception to anything easy either. So let's try and get this right. So I'm going to do a plum punch and a backwards damage boost here, so we can punch the plum as far right as we can. And there's our first generated cage. And then a double punch this plum, punch it again. So, and now what I'm going to try and do is, you see this swinging plum, I'm going to try and jump on it as it comes back. Nice. Saves me going to the full left and back around. That's quite a precisely timed strat. And here's another very sneakily hidden cage. You have to climb this vine to spawn it. And for this, we're riding a plum, which unfortunately can be very slow at times. And then you have to get to the top bit, because there's actually nothing of importance at the bottom, so you must land on that flower. If you do not land on that flower, you have to die and try again. Because I can guarantee you are not going to get back up there alive. It's full of spikes. Okay, and now we're on the final level of the Dream Forest, which is the first zone, and we are on Mosquito's Nest. This is where the final boss of this zone exists. It's basically a harder version of the fight you already saw me do. That's going to be at the end of this level. And there's another kind of, well, it's not that sneakily placed, but you have to ride the plum to get to this cage here. And I'm gonna do another strat with a plum up above me, and see if I can get the full boost. That's looking good. And nicely done. That's a solid strat to get in this one too. Yes, and then we come across this ugly thing, which you only ever see one of in the entire game. That's the only time you ever see him. Just one of those. If you punch its lips, it goes down instantly. And what I'm about to do now is a one cycle, which is kind of precise to line up. So I am potentially able to fail this. And I think I have. I have there. And I didn't save it. Unfortunate. I was very close to saving that. I didn't think I'd get that. That can happen. That's a hard part of the level, doing that one cycle. I thought I had it correctly lined up, but it's precise, as I said, so... Oops. It can happen. This game is brutal. So, what we're going to do here is a cycle manipulation as well. I'm going to slightly rate left and then turn right, and this plum will swing left to me. So I don't have to wait an extra cycle. Then there's another plum strat coming up. There's a lot of plum strats here. Let's see if we can get this. Ooh, that was pretty good, but it could have still been a bit better. But I definitely take that in a marathon setting. So I stopped the plum going too far left by punching it back right. That's an annoying cage. If you don't know how to deal with that cage, it's actually a very frustrating one to get because of the hunter guarding the plum. And it's not immediately obvious what to do with it. Also, we have another auto-scroller. I'm just running away from a mosquito again, so if there's anything to say, go ahead. Okay, never mind then. Continuing. This is an auto-scroller. I'm running from a mosquito. Because he doesn't like me. And this is a small screen. There's nothing on this screen. No cages here. Gonna try and do a tiny little clip at the end of the screen. See if we can get it. We did not. And now we are on the harder version of the mosquito fight. I'm gonna try for more double hits again. And I got the first one. Nice. You can do 2 double hits on this boss fight instead of 1. Yeah, and there's a lot of left and right involved with like optimizing this boss fight. If you just stay in like one place, it'll take a lot longer because he only drops things down in accordance to where you're standing. Oh, that's not a double hit. It's a next health, sorry. Easy to forget. This is an easy boss fight to forget to do everything correctly on, actually. And I'm going to skip this health so I can do the double hit now. And I got both. Very nice. But I do only have 1 health, so this is a little bit scary now. Hopefully we don't die here, or it's a big death. I think we'll be fine though. So again, more left and right. And then there's a final health we're going to take out when he's actually off screen. And I believe that actually speeds up the process of defeating this boss too. There we go. And that concludes the forest for now. After my next power up, I'll be back here a lot later. And I'm about to explain why. Because I get a power up that I'm able to run. So it's better to do this again when I have the extra speed gained from running shoes. And now we have a ring power, which is a very cool power, because we can do a thing called speed docking, where I hold up or down directionally, and it actually keeps the speed that I came off of the ring at, as you saw me do there. You'll see a lot more ring strats later on in the one. And now we're on the dreaded Band Land. This is a very hard level if you've ever got this far. And we're gonna do a strat here that you would have to go all the way round to the right to activate that cage by spawning in some clouds, but instead we do a fist boost to get us up to that ledge. Saves a lot of time than going the legitimate way. In fact, I would say of most of the levels in the one, this one we do skip a lot of stuff with speed strats than doing it the legitimate way. In fact, this level is actually designed to make you come back again legitimately, but we're going to get that cage first try. Whoops. That was very poorly timed. So I was basically trying to just keep my speed there by dodging that spawned anti-tune, but I just jumped a little bit too early. And here is one of our first harder strats of the one. I turn right, jump through these spikes for us to have iframes. So instead, we are basically skipping an entire section doing that. Normally, you would be made to go all the way past the end sign, spawn a cloud, come all the way back to get the cage. But we don't do that, because that's slow. So another skip. And this screen has a very, very cool technique coming up called a zip. I will basically be zipping through a wall. Oh, I've done this wrong, sorry. I spoke too far ahead there. Can I still get? Oh wow. So this is a strat called task balls. I'm surprised I got that, because I set that up completely wrong. So there, I did a death abuse there because it would get me back up this horrible section instantly. It's an annoying climb, normally. And here is the zip I'm talking about, which I'm about to try and do. And we got the zip, where we just fly to the top very quickly. And onwards we go to... So this is the screen. This is the screen I was on about, where you would have to come back again, because you are intended to have a helicopter power first before you can get the cage in the screen. But we're not going to do that. We're going to do that speed docking technique I mentioned earlier. And here we go. And we now can get the cage. And I even got the rolling animation, which is a very fast speed dock. So now we have got the cage that was made to make you come back in our first pass. We're just gonna punch these ones away because the jump can be a little bit sketchy at times. Oh god, that was way too sketchy. Did not want to be hit there. Sorry. I didn't even mean to duck there. That's what messed up the entire thing. So now we are doing another big skip, where this cage to the left up above, you would have to go all the way around, be mini, and then go all the way back just to get this cage. But instead, we're gonna damage through spikes. And then we're gonna die, because there's no way back. So basically, we got that cage the fastest way. And now we're riding some choco balls, and I just did like a 6 jump strat, where if I plant myself on the correct choco ball, I will always dodge this anti-tune. He will always be out of my way. The little black guys are called anti-tunes, I forgot to point that out. And the ones you punch out of cages are called electunes. That's what we're saving inside each cage. Okay, so again, we're just widening it on some chocolate balls. And there's another cage at the end of the screen. It's right at the bottom. We actually have to jump past the end sign. This is a very sneaky cage. No one would expect to do this first time. No one would really know about this first time, actually. That there's something down here behind the end sign. The devs were very cheeky with this game indeed. They definitely wanted to make you, like, venture out of your way to get stuff. And we're gonna catch this spawning cloud. Up we go. And that's this screen. And for the next screen, we're gonna do another cool strat. There's this big red guy with 2 hammers, or whatever you want to call them, where he tries to stop you, but we're actually gonna damage the boost straight through him instead. So we don't have to go around the annoying and hard way. That's in fact the easiest way to get past him. Then we don't even have to wait. We only have to try and dodge his hammers. Because I do believe it's actually RNG orientated how he swings his hammers at you. I think. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But this is Bongo Hills completed. We don't have to come back here again. Now, next level, at the start of this level, has one of the cooler skips of the game called a leg row clip. Where I basically will clip through a slippery ground and try to get... Unfortunately did not get it. Tried to get down to a cage right below. I did not get it, but you will still see some clips going on later in the one. It's like a 20-second save to get that. And this is the cage you would have clipped down to if we had timed it right. But it's one of the harder strats of the game to put off, so it's never expected to get it in a one. And now we're gonna... Oh wow, we missed the cage. Yeah, we boost our way all the way straight up to this cage with the speed we gained from the slippery to the left. And now we're gonna try and clip through this ground here. Nice. That's like 5 seconds too. That's harder to do than it looks. You have to turn at the specific point of the curve in the hill. Otherwise you won't clip through. And now we are on Trumpet screen. Oh, whoops, we jumped a little bit too early there. This is a tricky section. And what you saw me do there with the crawling was I tried to do a thing called God Clip. Another cool clip. But that's also something you just hope to achieve in a one. It's a nice bonus, but not something you should ever expect to get. And that cage there, it's a tricky one. Grabbing that ledge is not easy without using the speed, as you saw. And here's a cool strat where I'm gonna try and... Oh, I didn't get it. That's unfortunate. That would have looked cool to get that. Basically what I was gonna try and do was take damage from the lightning and hit the cage as I took damage. I guess I just punched a little bit too early there. That saves a few seconds, but it's a hard strat. And now we have another sneaky cage, because you would never know to spawn those chocolate balls hanging off an edge like that. And that's the only way to get up to this cage. Okay. And the next thing I'm going to do... There is a little strat here, but I don't actually know this strat very well, so I won't be executing this one. But there is a cool one coming up that I'm going to try and do. Which, like, makes you move really fast on all the mini platforms. Okay, never mind, we set it up completely wrong. At least we didn't die. These platforms, basically, if you time your jump really well, you can basically jump fast across that entire section. But it's very hard to get. Very, very hard to get. And now we're gonna cheese this level too by damaging straight through the ground here and skipping like half of this screen altogether. Very cool skip, and a very easy one to set up too. That is not a difficult one. Then I'm gonna be dodging all these notes. The reason I'm turning round in places is so I don't end up hanging on the wall. On the slippery, sorry. The wall, not the wall, the slippery. Because if you hang, that's all the speed gone. So you're trying to avoid hanging as you're keeping your speed up. Next power up. We can now helicopter. The intended power up to complete Bongo Hills. And that will be it for Bandland for now. We are moving on to the mountains. And this is a this is one of my favourite zones actually. I'm gonna try and do a cool strat here, but this is a really hard one to do. Oh dear. Okay. Well, that backfired horribly. We didn't even get the hang. We have to do the walk of shame now. There we go. That can happen. Getting the height you want on those rings isn't always reliable. Sometimes you just don't get the height you want. But that was an example of the speed docking technique that I showed you earlier. What I just did there. You basically can travel really fast on rings if you hold up or down when you come off the rings rather than left or right. Very cool strat, very cool technique. And we're on another screen where it's kind of, I guess this is kind of an auto-scroller actually. They're just running away from Mr. Stone, who I'll be fighting later. So if there's anything to read out, go ahead. Okay. Ah, that's unfortunate. I tried to get damage off him so I could get boosted forwards. I did not manage. So now I'm gonna do a damage boost across the screen to try and, well, to get me across it really fast. Ah, I didn't skip that. That's unfortunate. That can happen too. Trying to keep up. It's hard to speak as this game progresses. So I now unfortunately only have 1 health to do this death abuse here. I was hoping to have 2. But I only have 1. So I'm gonna have to be a bit careful here now. And for that reason I wasn't able to do that section as I intended. And that's our death abuse after getting that cage. Back to the start, wasting no time. And this screen I can really demonstrate to do the speed dock better. As I get down to the rings here. Whoops. And that's the speed dock. There we go. Super fast! Also, there's 2 exits on that level, and we took the secret one, which is actually faster. Because there's one to the far right, but you have to travel the clouds all the way, and it's actually a lot longer than going for that end sign. Some screens have 2 end signs. Very few, actually. Ah, yes, I forgot to mention that. You have to... That mini P I grabbed earlier has a spawning cloud to get you to that first cage. Necessary. The only way you can get up there. Gonna do a little damage boost here. Have to wait now, unfortunately. Getting the really good cycles there is difficult. And that was another little skip. Oh yeah, I forgot to point out. Did you see the photographers that I've been walking past? They're actually checkpoints. Basically, if you die, you go back there. I didn't mention what they do, even though you've seen me use them a few times. Okay, and that was another damage boost. And here's another. And done. It's quite cool that sometimes you can get all the hammers and all the fragments following you there. I'm going to try and do another skip here. Ah, that was unfortunate. I was just a little bit too far left. I've done it before, but I'm not too good at that strat. Basically, I would have skipped right up to the top ledge there if I had positioned myself correctly. And again, another sneaky point there where there's a cage spawn down to the right there. Oh god, I only have 1 health. I have to be careful. I should be paying more attention to my health. I'm gonna have to just be a bit more careful now. And what I'm gonna do now is death abuse again. Again, making use of photographers to actually put me further forward after I get the necessary cage. This screen's big, and it's got a lot of side areas to explore. It's probably one of the biggest in the game. And another cage spawn point up here. Oh no, that was... I didn't mean to do that. I think this guy might kill me now. Can I dodge this, actually? Okay, we dodged him still. That's difficult when you're put in that position. Oof. Ooh, the fragment nearly killed me there, to the left. And there's another cage spawn here. So you throw the fist as you fall down and you hit the cage as it spawns. It's really cool. Instead of... Normally, you go all the way down to spawn some clouds and you gotta go all the way back up. We don't need to do that. We just punch it on the way down. The correct name for me is Raymandicoot 1, actually. You add the 1 to the end of my name. Yeah, so this is our first super helicopter screen. That potion I just got, it gives me infinite helicopter, which is why you see my hair is now a different colour. Basically, it's required to get you through all these tough spike sections. This is a really hard screen. Oh, don't know why I knocked me the wrong way. That was weird. Yeah, so this is a very tough screen, this one. If you've got this far, this screen is a nightmare to do right. Also, you can do a speed dock of the super helicopter as well, just like with the rings, where if you hold up at the right time when you're boosted, you carry the speed like this. That was a speed boost. Whoops. You have no need to apologize at all. Oh dear. That was a rough cycle to be on. This is a very cycle heavy screen. Well, we got through in one piece, so. Again, as you saw, but both of those cages were placed out of Rayman's sight, so you definitely have to really explore in this game. You'll never find everything otherwise. It's a very cool speed one indeed, actually. It's really worth getting into if you really want like a fun game to run. But it's also a very hard game to run and a frustrating game to run when you're at the higher level as well. Because it doesn't take anything more than a bad death to basically end your end your run. And here's a cool strat. I wind my fist up as much as I can, jump down, and I hit the cage on the way down. Meaning I don't have to go down for the cage at all. Very cool strat. And here I'm going to damage through the floor. Casually, this game is this. For the first time, this game is going to take you a very, very long time indeed. So, this is kind of an auto-scroller again, but this time it's an auto-scroller going upwards. And you have to go left to get this cage here. Ooh, I missed that cloud. Gonna do another damage abuse here. I'm gonna try and do this cloud skip as well. It's not one of my favourite skips because it's death if I fail it, and that's a whole minute lost. But we will try because it's cool. Okay, we got the scary cloud skip. There we go. That one has killed many of my ones too. And now we are on snow screen. And it's another screen where we have slippery ground. Whoops! That was terribly timed. I was hoping to get much more of a boost than that. This screen is also... There's cages put well out of the way on this screen. You'll never know about them at first. A little heady here, keep my speed. And here is a cage all the way down here. Yes, the PlayStation version has only 5 continues. We failed this strat. And the PC version has 10 continues. I'm not sure of other versions. What I tried to do there was I tried to get beyond the spawning point of the fragments by fist boosting above them, but I didn't manage. One of the strats that I'm not too good at, I will be honest with you. It's quite a precise one, I think. It's not like hugely precise, but it definitely takes timing. Now, we're on to the Mr. Stone boss fight. Then this is a cool one, but I will need to focus on this fight. This is a hard fight to get optimally. There's a lot of damage abusing required here. But yeah, I need to focus on this one, I'm afraid. Okay, so far so good. Now that could have been done better, that bit there. If I waited longer, I would have made him take less time to bring these rocks down, but I find it really hard to time that. So that's like, basically I lost 2 seconds for getting that wrong. Another damage abuse. And here comes another. And here's the cool bit, which I hope to get right. There we go. Great. So, if you get this strat right, you actually send Mr. Stone through the ground. And we call it Mr. Stone on vacation. It looks hilarious. It's not the way you normally defeat him. Normally he'd be dancing around on the screen with that rock on his head, but by doing that strat, you just send him completely off of the screen. It's hilarious. And now, that running ability I mentioned earlier, there it is. Time for backtracks. And I did get 1 cage earlier because I failed the first jump on the rings. Gonna do a damage abuse at the tip of this spike. Jump and punch. Cage spawn in my face. Another cage here. Whoops, I somehow lost my 1 in speed. Then there would be that cage there that we'd get, but instead we already got it, so... And that was terribly slow. Oh wow, 1 health, okay. Gotta be careful now. And now we're coming up to the most irritating ring in the whole game. Because it's a very precise ring. And there we go, and that is exactly why. This ring is easily failable. It's very high and very far away. You have to get the correct precision to get that ring. Otherwise you're missing it several times. And it's very frustrating when you miss it 5 or 6 times. And there's a final cage which we would originally intend to go down, spawn a cloud and ride along the cloud. But we do a death abuse on the way down. Take the cage and back out of the screen. Whoops. Oh dear. that was laughable. You have to go to that tip, you have to go to that hanging point to spawn in that cage up there. Yeah, there's 4 cages on this screen. And we then go straight down from that cage straight down to this cage. And there's 1 more at the end. Oh Christ, I thought I actually landed on that. But I didn't. Okay, we've lost good cycles now, but as long as we don't die, I really don't mind. Because this screen's hard, as you can see. If you're wondering what's below me if I fail these jumps, the answer is nothing. Death. Okay. Not dead at least. Okay, and that was that screen. We saved that pretty well, considering what happened. And now we're on another auto-scroller. If there's anything to read, please go ahead, because there's really not a lot to say here. There really is not. Okay. I have not much to say here, I'm sorry. I'm just running along clouds and waiting for a cage.
Will I hop in to say something then?
Yes, you may, because there's not much.
No. No problem. I would just like to say we are raising money to support Crisis, a charity supporting people of homelessness for good. That's where all of the donations go. 100% of donations go to helping them provide education, training and support with housing, employment and health towards the people they support.
Thank you. And we are nearly at the end of the screen now, and this is Gong Heights completed. And I'm going to do a hard strat here called the lightning boost. Can we get it first time? No, we don't. Basically, I'm going to try and boost myself up to the top there. Oh dear. This can happen in ones too. Can we get it a 3rd try? No. Oh dear. Please get this. This is so cool to get in a marathon. Aww. I'm upset that I didn't get that. I really wanted to show that strat off. I really did. Now we have to go the long way, unfortunately. So what I would have done if I got that, I would have just boosted myself right up to this section. And I would have basically avoided that entire white bit I just did. But it doesn't always work out. It's a hard strat, and it's easy to fail. So now I'm going to be clipping here. You know those clips I mentioned earlier? You're going to be seeing a lot of them on this screen. Okay, that was pretty good. We got a like 3rd try. And this saves us going a long way around to get this cage as well. So we don't go all the way to the left. there's another clip section here that I'm going to do something a little bit differently for, actually. I'm going to spam crouching to the left, which usually works out better for me, anyway, than just trying to time the clip. It's a frame perfect trick, I forgot to mention. Oh, we did get it! We got on the final one! Who would have guessed? And then I'm gonna throw my fist as I fall down, because by doing that, I'm able to dodge past this annoying moth. If you don't throw the fist where I did, oh no, I had a feeling this might happen. As I was saying, if you don't do what I did there, that moth will try to block you. I was going to explain a thing called speed storage, but now I'm going to have to try and get it a different way altogether. Hopefully this gets it. The gist of speed storage is, when you carry speed in a specific rolling animation, specific direction, sorry, it keeps all the speed as long as you use that speed off of a moving object. I'm really hoping I got the speed storage, because this is a cool strat. I did. And there you go, that's speed storage. I saved, right, about 50 seconds doing that. Because it saves me going the whole long way around to get that cage. And that was an example of speed storage. I wish they could explain it better, but it's hard to explain. One of the cool strats in this game, though. Definitely one of my favourable strats that I learned. Oh. Okay. I need you to get out of my way, good sir. Thank you. Now, I was intending to actually jump around him both times, but it do be that way sometimes. And there was another cage you could spawn on that tree to my right. And we finish the level by getting that zip cage right by the backside. Basically, we're just doing cleanup now. I should have pointed that out. We are doing cleanup now. And this is the fastest way to do cleanup because we have 1-in-2s. You could do it much earlier, but by not having 1-in-2s, it's much harder. Now, you probably wondered, why did I skip that P? Well, the answer is, it's actually beneficial for me at the start of Pixar City. The artwork part of the one, or drawing part of the one. Basically, I'm going to be death abusing and I want to not have 5 health to do it faster. Okay. That's all cleanup done now. We're just getting to the end of the screen and we go to Pizza City. The artwork section of the artwork zone of the one. It's quite a cool styled area of the game actually. But also, this is where the one really picks up in difficulty. We're now on the harder part of the game. We're off to erase the plains. And this first screen is nothing less than ruthless. One mistake, and you're losing a lot of time. So, first of all, we're gonna go up top, which there's a cage to the right. And the reason I have this free health, you will see in a minute. Hopefully I don't mess it up. Hopefully I do not mess it up. I may just... yeah, I'll do it at a safer distance. You can get directly under them and punch it, which is the most optimal way. But it's one of those strats that if you do that and you fail the timing, you die and you don't get the cage. Also, you probably wondered, why did I use the back sign when I could just continue? So, what happens when you die on this game? You basically lose a level of Speed Fist, or Golden Fist, or whatever power-up you have. But by re-entering, you have that power-up back. The reason I want Speed Fist is because a few screens from now, there's a strat called the 50-50 cage, which is actually not considered RNG, but basically you have to hit the correct subframe to get the cage. And we need Speed Fists level 2 in order to reach it. So that's why we're trying to save it. And yeah, as you can see, this screen is ruthlessly hard, and I didn't die, so I'm happy about that, actually. All it takes is one hit of the pins above, and you're going straight in that ink and dying. And now we have to go mini. Because we need to get to that cage. And we missed this cycle, unfortunately. You can beat that. Do a backwards fist boost. Ah, we hit the wall. Unfortunate. Yes, Eraser Plains is tough. Honestly, a lot of the levels in Pizza City have a lot of hidden stuff. And here's that 50-50 cage I'm on about. And there we go, I had a bad subframe. I didn't hit it on the correct subframe there, so we got it second try. If you're really unlucky, you can take like 10 tries to get that cage. By getting that cage, we don't have to go up and around the long way, which is cool. And we like to get time saves when we can, because that's what we do as speedrunners. And oh dear, I bonked the rubber by accident. Oops. No biggie. We can still go around and get it. Oh no. Okay, this is a scary section, and I have to do this with 1 health. Unfortunate. This is a big time loss. Fair than that. Very, very tricky section. Very unfair section to new players as well. Doing that is just disgusting. Okay, second try. It's fine. 1's been pretty good, to be honest. Ah, damn. So we have to get up to where that P is to spawn this cage. And we have to be Big Rayman in order to get it. I do believe there is a way to get it when you're not Big Rayman, but it's not recommended. It makes your life much harder if you try to do that cage as Small Rayman. And now we are continuing on to the end of the screen, because we now have all the cages. There's a cool strat here called the 99 ting strat, but it requires a lot of maths. Like before this screen to have 99 tings before that final ting. It allows you to refill your health at that point of the screen. It's nice if you can learn it, but it's definitely kind of big brain for me, if that's an acceptable word to use. Okay. And that's Eraser Plains, other than this final boss fight. And she is Viking Mama. And she likes to say the who a lot. We would imagine it's her favourite website as well. Just as a joke to throw in. You'll hear her soon. Basically, I've got to take out these 2 first. And oh, good dodge. So there is a third and final soft dock hit that I do have the health for, but because it's a soft dock hit, I think I'm not committing to doing that in a marathon. Unfortunately, it's too risky. I don't want to crash the game. in a marathon. So we're just gonna do the final health normally and not take the risk. After all, I want to get to the end of this one. I don't want to risk it dying to a mistake. And I can totally understand why you haven't made it this far. This is a really hard part of the game. And to be honest, a lot of people give up on Bandland before they even get this far, so anyone who gets this far, respect to you. So we're not going to do this damage abuse because again, it's timing precise, and if you get it wrong, it's a soft dot. I go for it in PBs because it's a time saver. But in a marathon setting, I just want to keep this one going at the end of the day. I don't want to do something that kills the one. Okay.
Is this a good time to speak?
You may
the boss
speak.
fight, or?
Sure.
Right, so the first time we have a $10 donation from Cypheus Kane saying, no donations in a while, let me fix that. Getting the second COVID vaccine jag next week, so I'm so happy with that. And some people in chat already noticed we have a $250 donation. I don't know if I don't butcher the name here, from Bertia191. If I butchered your name, I'm sorry. Can't wait for that deep Garskap lore. Thanks from the States for everything you all do to help all these great causes. So thank you for the $10 donation and also the 250 donation as well. Big donations helping Crisis.
Wow, I'm lost for words. That's a really generous donation. Thank you very much. So, where do I continue? Yeah. So, we got the 2 cages on this screen. There's a cool strat at the end of this screen called the easy jump. It's not easy. It's actually incredibly difficult. It's a hilarious name that we gave the strat. It's really timing precise, and I'm probably gonna get it completely wrong. Yeah, I did. I tried though. I was on the wrong part of the pencil to get that. But basically, what would happen if you timed it right? You would keep the rolling momentum all the way across the entire section. Oh my god, what am I doing? What am I doing? This is a hard screen, sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, let's at least zip through the pencils. Oh my word, are we gonna die? Jeez. Okay, I might die here, to be honest. I'm gonna try and do this strat though. Ah, damn. Gotta try things in a marathon. That was scary to commit to that with 1 health. But you can basically start in the gap between those Ninyans and just dodge them completely. Ooh, okay. This is fine, I have 4 health this time. Instead I'm going to do a damage abuse through them. This is the easier way. Nice, we got this strat. The name of this strat is hilarious, I don't know if I want to say it, but... Okay, we got part of the strat anyway. Oh dear. This is a hard screen, I'm sorry. This can kill ones as well. This entire part of the one is just... there's no easy parts of this game left now. It's just hard all the way through. And apparently we were too slow on the first screen, so the music is dead. Interesting. Normally if you're fast enough on the first screen of Eraser Planes, the music continues to loop, but it's dead, apparently. So, rip the soundtracks until the start of each screen.
Can I quickly just hop in again?
Of course.
So, the $10 donation was for the Silent Hill 4 costume selection. That is towards Nurse. So currently Nurse is winning. And $120 of the $250 donation went to the incentive for the game that he also shouted out. So I'm pretty sure we're getting the bonus game from that, which Grizzly Bear is doing. Or Grizz Bear, sorry. So yeah, we're going to have both donations currently went towards incentives as well. So that's pretty good.
Wow, I'm honestly in shock, and thank you very much. All donations extremely appreciated. So we have to go up, down, and round to get the cage here. Because there's one sneakily placed right here. Also, that cage I got at the start of the screen, you saw that I got straight through to it really quickly. There's a little strat required to do that, because otherwise it's near impossible to get you through all those rubbers. It was nice to have sewn that off. Don't think it has a name, unfortunately, that strat. And if it does, I'm sorry, but I don't know it. Saves a lot, because those rubbers are... Trust me, when you get to those rubbers for the first time, you're gonna feel like pulling your hair out. Because those rubbers, you could be spending a while stuck on those rubbers. They're annoying to get stuck on. You definitely want to find a way to get through them nice and easy. Oops, I missed the anti too. That's cool. We have 5 health. Unfortunately, we don't have a slow fist though, so there's really not a great deal of ring strats we can do like this. Okay, well we got that, kind of. So, there's also a strat at the top of this screen that's tricky, and I don't think I'm going to be able to do it with a slow fist, to be honest, but we'll try. Nah, we can't get enough height, we have to do another swing. And this cage is annoying too. Oh dear. This cage is precise. Okay, 4th try. That's a really annoying cage too. That can definitely use you a lot in ones, as it kinda just did. And another sneaky cage past the ensign. Very sneaky devs, aren't they? Putting that right there after the ensign. Very cheeky. Are we gonna make this? Okay, wow, I can't believe that I made that. Wow, that was really nice. There are some really fast strats on this screen, but I don't know either of them. They're so hard to do. It's called Stormer Skip and Stormer Skip Skip. Both are annoyingly difficult. Skip Skip is also incredibly more difficult than Skip. Basically, if you get the best one, you can ring boost yourself all the way to the far right. And you just, yeah, you make huge progress really quickly. But it's so precise and difficult. I've never been able to get it, so I couldn't sew that off to do today. But we still did some. That's something I never talked about. Ring tethering. You notice how sometimes I was throwing my fist. Whoops, what am I doing? Throwing my fist over the top of the ring. Basically, it gives me a bigger tether when I swing round, allowing me for a bigger boost, which allows me to gain greater height, which is what I used to get onto that sharpener at the end of the section easier. And this skip's annoying sometimes. You have to time it right as the sharpener goes down to the left. Down. Well, actually to the left. My brain sometimes. Okay. So, another sneaky cage up here with about 1 million things to spawn. Oh look, another hidden cage. How are we gonna ever find that? By literally going all the way to the right, unknowingly. In this section, very tricky, very precise. One wrong move and you are history. And we are going to our final cage of Space Mama's crater, which is this level. Because Space Mama is our final boss of this zone. And she is a very long boss fight. We're talking of the best part of 2.5 to 3 minutes long. So you may mention anything if you wish. Right now.
That is some really good timing there, because people on the stream have noticed, and I just noticed as well. This is from Anonymous, so whoever you are, very thank you. Another $250. Rayman is one of the first games I've ever played. Never been able to fight the last boss because I wasn't able to get all the cages in the game. Good luck for the run and the rest of the marathon. Well, thank you for that. Big sum of money going towards Crisis.
I can't believe how much this game is made. I'm so happy for you all right now. I'm really appreciative of that. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, this boss doesn't actually say that who. It's just the first one, but it is her again. I should mention that it is her again. So what you saw me do there was a little damage abuse there, so I could damage her twice. Basically, by making her turn around, it wastes time on her iframes, so you have actually another chance to damage her again by turning her around. I'm gonna do another one now. So basically her iframes will run out like just as she shoots the gun now. So you can punch her again. Like so. And I got the second one too. If you just stay in front of her, her iframes will not run out before she flies off out of the screen, so you can't damage her. Whoops. Again. Oh, this boss fight is probably one of the hardest, if not the hardest boss fight of the game. And it's a horrible boss fight to get stuck on, because it's very long, as you can see. You could get to a final health and die, and that's another 3 minutes of time down the drain. Can I get this? This is a hard one. No. Okay. That's really precise. You have a chance to hit her after she shoots her second bullet. With like a tiny window. And that's Space Mama. Now we move on to the dreaded Caves of Scops. And one of the levels for us runners to be one of the biggest run killers as well. The dreaded Crystal Palace. This is nothing but full of rings and pits of death. And I'm going to start by doing a boost with the ring, speed ducking straight to the cage. Very nice as well. And now here we go. Here comes the hard part. The scary part. How fast can we do this without dying? Ooh. Okay, I will take that. Now we have to spawn another cage here. You could take the photographer for extra safety, but we're going for it. So, okay. This is why this level was scary. There's spikes around as well. It's not just rings. Ooh, okay. We saved it again. Nice. Scary moment. And another speed dock. along here. Okay, let's go. We didn't die in Crystal Palace. Very happy with that.
Can I quickly hop in and say something again?
Yes, go ahead.
So that $250 donation actually also went to 4 bid wars we're having. Wow. So $30 went to the Return to Castle Cork Dead Progression X, and the difficulty choice would be Progression 13 Hard Mode. Another $10 went towards the Silent Hill 4 New Game Choice, which is for the nurse outfit, so that's $20 to that. The Sonic Robo Blast 2 Beat the Game incentive's now been met, so I'm pretty sure that's now becoming all emeralds now. And then we also have $50 went towards the Mirror's Edge category war bid, which is inbuilds versus 100%, and 100% now has $50 more to it. So those are some incentives for if anybody else wants to donate towards them. But that's all the ones that have been currently done.
Thank you. Wow, I'm amazed. This has been a great one. So much has been raised in just this one. It's great. And it makes me feel good about what I'm doing right now too. Knowing that I've helped raise money today. That's what we're all here for. We're all here to help raise money. And you're all... everyone watching is just as important as well towards it. Okay, this is not good. Okay, we're not dead, but that was terrible height. Nah. Damn. Okay. It's a big death. That didn't work out at all. Yes, my name's Jamie. I should probably have mentioned that. I tried to get another tether on that final ring, but it didn't happen. Okay. Given that most of the one hasn't even gone badly, I'm happy to accept that big death. It was gonna happen somewhere, so... okay, we're up. Oh wow, that spawned in my face. Nice, thank you Spike, I appreciate that. I really appreciate you spawning in my face, thank you. So that's Crystal Palace out of the way. Next screen is also a great screen to have anything to say, because we have to wait at Joe's. It's called Eat at Joe's, but we actually have to wait at Joe's. So, go ahead if you want. It's also a time to chill for about 30 seconds. So this is the first and only actually dark screen of the game. This one takes some muscle memory and learning to do, like, on a consistent level. If you need to give yourself light, you have to punch your fist ahead and it will give you light, as shown here. Yeah, waiting at Joe's. That's what we do on this part of the one. Waiting is fun in the speed one. Oh dear. What am I doing? I was meant to go for the ring. It's fine, we still have 3 health. Just the entire caves are very difficult. Like, they are a nightmare. And we've lost a lot of runs to these levels. Just, it's the nature of the game. It's a hard game. Okay, I'm gonna have to get this health. I'm not doing this with 1 health. Okay. So that was another cage I spawned in there. And now we have to climb an annoying ring section to get us to another cage. It's been relatively kind to me actually until there. We'll do a tether to get up this ring, like that. Oh yeah, Rayman had so much love put into it. You wouldn't think this was a game from 1995 at all. So much colourfulness. And it's a well-made game. There's no real complaints I could make about the quality of inputting in this game as well. Like, I've never really often complained about dropped inputs in this game. It's very well made. And it's nice to know that there are games out there that are this well made. Okay, so there's no cages on this screen. This is just running through to the end. I'm gonna damage abuse my way through. It's a lot faster. Also safer, believe it or not. Trying to do that little spike section there as fast, as safely as you can doesn't always work out, sorry. Also, we did skip a few spawn points there by jumping over them. So we avoided spawning some bugs that shoot homing spiky things at you. I don't know how to explain it. There. And here's another screen that you just have to wait most of the time on a moving platform. Brain Games have actually ran that once, and it's a very, very long game. I wouldn't put it on anyone to play that game though. It's long and ruthlessly hard. Well, I'm sure if you keep at it, you'll find all those cages eventually. I'm hoping that my showcase for this one today will help you find cages you have been able to find, given that you were playing on the PlayStation 1 version of the game. Another cage to spawn here. This is exactly what I said earlier. The late game has so much spawn required cages. It's a horrible experience for the first time, and you're like, where was a cage? I never saw it. Well, that's what they make you do. And now we're on the final screen of Eat at Joe's. A screen deemed to be headish for first time players. And it was most certainly for me too. But I'm actually going to be damage abusing through a lot of the hard parts of this screen to make it a bit easier for me. I'm gonna jump into this hammer. And then I'm gonna... Ooh, okay. That worked somehow. I thought I was gonna make that. Basically, I use my iframes to fly through the hammer. And there we go. We only have 2 levels of the 1 to go, by the way. Whoops. So this is a very high pace screen as well. Lots of rings to speed dock across. Nice so far. Then we go all the way right here to spawn some rings and another cage to the left. And I'm going to boot it myself to the cage, and I think I'm too low. I'm probably dead. Ah, that's unfortunate. I was too low. That can happen. Normally you would fly right back as you hit that cage, but I was a little bit on the low side. Okay, that's all cages. And now we are going to the next screen where we fight our second to last boss called Mr. Scops. He's a big scorpion and we are waking him up from his sleep. And he won't be happy that we are doing that. So, whoops. So again, I did another over the ring tether to get me up on top of that very annoying red spike to the right. That's an annoying one to get up if you don't know the best way to do it. 100%, believe it or not, is any percent actually. We are completing the game as it is. Now, my argument for full actual completion of this game is to also do the magicians that you don't see me doing in this one. But they are like, they don't actually contribute to completion of this game. But they are another side thing that you can do on top the magicians. And this is actually only the first screen. We're actually not fighting him yet. We're chasing him down. It's the next screen that we are fighting him. And now we're fighting him. And what we're doing, when we throw our fist, it makes his blue ball that he fires at you follow the fist that you throw. Basically, you use it as like a magnet to hit back towards his face. And honestly, I would say this boss is a lot easier than Space Mama that we saw earlier. I would say getting to him is the harder bit on the screen before. Yes, I guess you could say that Rayman was chasing him down rather than him attacking Rayman. But he's in my way, so I have to get past him. And that's Mr. Scops. One final level to go, guys. We're on Mr. Dark's Dare. And it's a level filled with food and goodness. Candy Sato. Lots of icing and cake and deliciousness. And we're on one of the hardest screens in the game, I'd say. The pan screen. So this one definitely takes some muscle memory to remember where you should boost and jump or not. Okay, I think I'm not dead. Good, let's go. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna do a cool thing here where I despawn Dark Rayman. There we go. So this cage actually has Dark Rayman mimicking your movements like 3 seconds after you, but you can actually go to the left and then you can jump over his spawn point, hover over his spawn point, and now he's not even spawned in. It's a cool thing I wanted to show you. This one, it's actually not faster at all. It's slightly slower, but it relieves you from the fear that this screen can bring with Dark Rayman. And unfortunately, he did kill me in my last one, so in my last PB. Because you see those clouds I was jumping up just now? They actually have like height cycles, and if you're on the bad cycle, you won't even make it to the next cloud. Ah. I tried to do a thing called chocolate clip there, but I was completely off, and I just didn't manage to do it. I don't know how much it saves, but it's a cool little strat. And here's a strat called Clown Skip. my damage of the clown's head to skip the entire right section of the one. Ow! I accidentally got hit by the clown. Oh my god, what am I doing? Jesus, that's embarrassing. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this again now. Jeez. Okay, I've mucked this up. I'm just gonna do this again. Sorry. We'll do clown skip again anyway, because it's cool. There we go. What? Okay. Oh my god, not now. The one's been really, actually, not too bad until right now. Jeez. Okay, I'm just gonna take the checkpoint. We're not doing this again. That was embarrassing. Very, stupid death, if I do say so myself. But there, the clown skip. I damaged off his head, skip an entire section. Jesus, what am I doing? This is embarrassing now. This is not the way I wanted to end a one. It was the reverse effect that made me die there. Sorry, that was embarrassing. I don't think I've mocked up this screen as much as I just did, so... whatever. That was just... You do hit yourself when you do stupid things like that. Okay, this can be like a 128 still, so... we will underestimate. So, this is the final fight. I'm gonna try and do all the damage skips I can on the fight, but for this first part, I'm just dodging the flames. Honestly, I'm surprised that this was this much behind PB in the end. I guess I did start making a lot of mistakes. That would be cool, Joris, but highly unlikely. Let's see if we can free cycle this first part of the boss. Really? Both missed? Okay. Then it's 4 cycle then. Oh no, don't kill me please. Okay, we're on the final part now. Time will come up as soon as I've finished this boss's health, by the way. This 5 health. 8 health. Time. Okay, I got a triple at the end there. And that's time. Whew. A spotty ending to the one, but we got there, and we're well underestimate, so I'm happy still. And this beat my last marathon by about 3 minutes, so I guess it's a marathon PB. Thank you all for coming. It's been an honor to run for UKSG/ESA. I hope you all have a great day and enjoy the rest of the runs. Thank you. Is there anything you need to say to me?
Nah, again, I'll just, congratulate you on your run. Very good run.
Thank
Very
you.
good time as well. 7 minutes under estimate. Plus, the crazy donations we got throughout that.
I'm so
insane.
proud of that. Thank you, everyone. It's been great. Yeah, I guess over to the next runner. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
everyone.
So the next run will be Mario Kart 8 on the Nintendo Switch, of course. Nyko Tracks items 200cc. So we'll get into that very shortly, but first we'll have our intermission, and then we'll be right back.
Bye, everyone.